Tonight at 6, the vending machines that are trending at college campuses nationwide. We have the latest on if contraceptive vending machines are coming to Ohio schools.
If politicians can start using the court to undo doctors' decisions?
Fights over abortion pills are continuing in Texas, what each side is saying and the effects this case may have.
The United States is not the only nation facing a financial crisis, how the financial emergencies are related around the world.
And it's time for March Madness, and everyone's brackets are being revealed, including 2 U.S. presidents. Are their top picks the same as yours? All these stories and more as TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening and happy Thursday, Portage County. I'm Sydney Brown.
And I'm Alexa Blakley. Thank you so much for joining us.
We begin our coverage with a trend for college campuses nationwide. The trend? Contraceptive vending machines that are increasing accessibility for students.
That's right. Contraceptive vending machines could even be coming to Ohio. Our reporter Alexandria Manthey has more. Alex?
Hi guys, this vending machine does not sell chips or drinks, but actually emergency birth control. The first of its kind in Ohio, and it may be installed at Miami University. It could be just a matter of time and petition signatures to get one here on Kent's campus.
In a statement from Miami University's spokesperson, it says the machine is not a university initiative, but a student-led project of the Associated Student Government. The machine would dispense the over-the-counter contraceptive medication, Plan B. Kent State Students for a Democratic Society have been advocating for the same type of machine to come to Kent State.
It would be in a vending machine, centrally located on campus.
The drug would be sold at a reduced price because of the university's pharmaceutical contracts.
Like CVS, like they charge almost like $50 for Plan B, and ideally we would be selling a generic version of Plan B on campus, so the cost would be way lower, like around $10.
The goal is to make emergency contraceptives more accessible for students.
Having it like centrally located on campus would make it like 10 times easy for like students in residence halls, students who don't have cars, to like just walk here instead of like walking all the way like into town.
The idea for the vending machine came after the Supreme Court's overturn of Roe v. Wade.
Since then, we've seen attacks across the country on reproductive rights, and especially here in Ohio. And we were thinking to ourselves, what can we do like locally that can help people like on our campus?
SDS sent out a survey to students to hear their opinions on these machines that have popped up around the country. The feedback was positive, and they got to work on a change.org petition.
We sent out the petition, which now has a few hundred, I think almost 500 signatures, and we've really seen like positive feedback from the community at large.
Local officials are also in support, including the American Civil Liberties Union of Ohio. They say they hope to forge a relationship with STS to work together on this issue.
Our and the university's next goal is to actually get like a permit, like to have the like vending machine here on campus, and we need to get like permission from the state government for like placement and such.
SDS is not the only student organization passionate about this issue. KSU's chapter of URGE, which stands for Unite for Reproductive and Gender Equality, met last night and is hoping to get reestablished for future semesters. Reporting live, I'm Alexandria Manthey.
Thanks, Alex. The abortion battle in Ohio is far from over. An anti-abortion group has just launched a new $5 million ad campaign as abortion supporters are currently acquiring signatures for a proposed abortion rights amendment to the Ohio Constitution. The new ad campaign, funded by Protect Ohio Women, is being implemented over the next 4 weeks to defeat the proposed amendment.
And in Texas, debates are continuing over the safety of mifepristone, an abortion drug. The FDA and medical groups say that the drug is safe and rarely has any serious side effects. But a lawsuit from anti-abortion groups is arguing that people may have been harmed by the drug and is calling for the FDA's approval of it to be revoked. This marks the first major federal abortion case since Roe v. Wade was overturned.
Good evening, Portage County. I'm Michael Neenan, and I'm here to tell you about the weather. So let's jump right in. As you can see currently in Kent, it is 53 degrees. It feels like 50, so it's not too much of a wind chill because wind's only going at about 10 miles per hour in the south direction. The dew point is at 18 degrees. The humidity is at 28%, and visibility is at 10 miles. So you shouldn't have any problems driving anywhere. And as we move on to the weather tonight, will be around 46. It's going to be raining pretty much all night, so definitely be prepared for that. The winds will pick up a little bit, but not much really. They'll be at about 14 miles per hour, and the sun will set at 7:33 this time. So yeah, the days are getting a bit longer. And now, as we look to the next 24 hours roughly, at 8 it will be raining, and it's going to be raining really just until the morning. It's really not going to change too much. It'll stay at a constant of about, I'd say, 48 degrees. That's kind of it. Not a lot to see here, but that's all I've got for now. Be sure to tune in later as we see what the weekly forecast looks like and see what the weather looks like around the state.
Thanks, Michael. Undergraduate student government elections are next week. Tonight at 6, the first debate to hear candidates' initiatives is taking place in the governance chambers, but USG is also incentivizing coming out to the debate. They are giving out 5 tickets to Flash Fest, where Lil Yachty is set to perform. Voting for Kent State's future USG representation begins at 8 a.m. on March 21st through March 22nd.
Keeping up with universities' updates, the new Senate Bill 83, introduced on Wednesday, would ban public universities in Ohio from having bias in the classroom. Both Republican and Democratic activists are unsure about the bill, saying that it does not fully support free speech because it mandates certain topics being taught. The bill also bans mandatory diversity training, as well as partnering or making programs with Chinese institutions.
But Ohio public school teachers are taking a hit. As a result of the financial crisis from the Silicon Valley Bank of California, Ohio State teachers' retirement system lost more than $30 million in bank collapse. Ohio's public pension systems collectively lost tens of millions of dollars invested in Silicon Valley Bank of California and Signature Bank of New York. This loss will impact all faculty at state institutions, including Kent, as they are part of State Teachers Retirement Fund.
In an effort to find and recruit more law enforcement candidates, the Ohio House has introduced a bill that would lower the minimum age to become a police officer from 21 to 18. Members of the committee mostly support the intentions of the bill, but have brought up concerns about whether or not 18-year-olds should be trusted as police officers. There are also concerns that this change would add more strain to the pension system for law enforcement, which is already struggling.
After a series of homicides in Summit County, a suspect is being charged on multiple accounts. Elias Gudino has been charged with aggravated murder and attempted aggravated murder in connection with 2 shootings. 2 bodies were found in the woods, bound and gagged, in addition to a 3rd body in Copley. But the 4th victim, who survived being shot in the head, was found in Copley as well. But authorities didn't provide a location of where he was found.
Trump remains under investigation for phone calls regarding the 2020 election. What new information has been found?
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Welcome back. Amid the U.S. bank crisis, other countries are facing similar financial issues.
In Switzerland, the stock market is facing uncertainty. Reporter John Loring has the full story. The White House may threaten to ban TikTok in the U.S. TikTok said Wednesday that the Biden administration demanded that its Chinese parent company ByteDance spin off their shares of the platform or be banned. This is a result of fears that TikTok may be pressured to sell the personal information of its 100 million U.S. users to the Chinese government. Meanwhile, TikTok has been negotiating a deal with the Committee on Foreign Investment to allow it to continue operating in the U.S.
And President Biden also announced that Medicare will be expanding its benefits. As a result of the inflation, 27 prescription drugs will now be more affordable. Biden shared that people with traditional Medicare and Medicare Advantage could see reductions changing from $2 to $390 on their coinsurance for an average dose of the effective Medicare Part B drugs. To accomplish these reduced costs, drug companies will be paying for the rebates.
The FDA voted to fully approve Pfizer's Paxlovid as a COVID-19 treatment for high-risk adults. Since 2021, when the medication was granted approval for emergency use, more than 8 million people have received it. Some users reported a return of COVID-19 symptoms, but clinical trials found that this was not associated to the drug and that it was a safe treatment. The FDA will complete their review and approval of Paxlovid in May.
In Washington state, a train derailed early this morning. The train was transporting thousands of gallons of diesel and around 3,500,000 gallons was leaked.
Officials are still trying to pinpoint the exact amount of gallons leaked. Crews are currently working to assess the accident scene, but there has been no observed impact to seawater or groundwater, according to the Department of Ecology confirmed. Senator Schumer made a request based on all these derailments.
I sent a letter to the National Transportation Safety Board Chair, Jennifer Homendy, urging her to expand NTSB's investigation of Norfolk Southern into a comprehensive review of all 7 Class 1 freight railroad companies' safety practices.
Welcome back. I think it's time we see what the weather looks like around the state and check out that weekly forecast. As you can see, starting in northeast Ohio and Sandusky, Mansfield, it's 56, 57 degrees. It's actually pretty even across the board. Wow. It's all pretty even. Normally on the lake, it's a lot colder, but no, across northeast Ohio, the weather is pretty even. Worcester is 56, Canton 57, and Kent is 54, and Youngstown is currently 56. But let's zoom out a little. Let's take a look at the rest of Ohio. And okay, it starts to warm up a little bit as we go south and west. In Steubenville, it is 59. In Akron, it's 56. In Lima, at the moment, it's 56. But as we go down south, Columbus is at 60 degrees. Dayton is at 61. And Athens and Cincinnati are on 63 degrees. Now, let's take a look at that weekly forecast, because tomorrow, as I said, it's going to be very rainy. But the rain will stop for a whole 5 days, because on Saturday and Sunday, we will see clouds and some sun before Monday turns into a pretty sunny day. It's going to be pretty nice, albeit it will be 48 degrees, but we'll take it. On Tuesday, it'll also be pretty sunny, and same with Wednesday. It'll be in the 50s, but unfortunately on Thursday, it will start to rain again, but it won't be too cold. It'll be about 52 degrees. But, that's all I have time for today. Be sure to watch out for any unexpected weather, especially if it rains. Stay safe, Portage County.
Following several close calls on airport runways, the FAA met Wednesday to find out why this continues to happen.
That's right. The Safety Summit brought out industry leaders, lawmakers, and the Biden administration. Reporter Gloria Pazmino has more.
It seems like one close call after another. Boston, New York, Austin, now just outside Washington, D.C. At least 7 close calls on U.S. runways since the start of 2023 has the flying public, lawmakers, and the Biden administration demanding answers.
We are particularly concerned because we have seen an uptick in serious close calls that we must address together.
The Federal Aviation Administration convened a safety summit Wednesday with industry representatives, labor groups, and aviation experts aimed at finding out what's working and what needs improvement in order to ensure safety in the sky and on the runway.
Initial information suggests that more mistakes than usual are happening across the system.
None of the near misses this year resulted in fatalities, and officials say flying remains the safest way to travel. But acting FAA Chief Billy Nolan says it's time to ask difficult questions to determine where the problems lie.
The biggest mistake we can make as an industry is to become complacent.
All with the hope of preventing a future disaster.
These recent incidents must serve as a wake-up call for every single one of us. before something more catastrophic occurs, before lives are lost.
In New York, I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
The U.S. European Command declassified footage shows 2 Russian fighter jets flying by a U.S. drone over the Black Sea. The jets are seen dumping fuel on the drone, and according to the Pentagon, they later flew into it.
U.S. officials believe that this was approved by Russia, but the Kremlin claims its jets never touched the drone. The drone crashed into the water, leaving a difficult recovery process ahead. Russia says it is also looking for the drone.
It's not unusual for us to release imagery of unsafe, unprofessional incidents. We've done that in other situations. And so particularly in this case, given the reckless and dangerous behavior, and to demonstrate publicly what type of actions the Russians had taken, we felt that it was important to provide this imagery.
A new phone call has surfaced from former President Trump regarding the 2020 election results in Georgia. In this call, Trump pushed the Georgia House Speaker for a special session to overturn Joe Biden's victory in the state. The call was played for the special grand jury investigating Trump's actions in the state and are recommending multiple indictments, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. It's now up to the Fulton County District Attorney whether to file charges.
Look, I think it will embolden his supporters, okay? I think it will enrage his supporters, make them feel stronger about the fact that they're politicizing the justice system. And I think he's thinking, if I prosecute him, I take him out of candidacy.
The Senate voted today to repeal 2 acts that give the president authority to use military force in Iraq. These acts allowed the president to order military action without approval from Congress. Former Presidents Barack Obama and Donald Trump both used the acts beyond their original intentions to order additional strikes. The final vote on the bill will take place next week.
I have not spoken to the Speaker, but the House sponsors are very bipartisan, including people that are really close to the Speaker. This has gotten votes in the House before. Floor amendment to the NDAA, where up to 40 Republicans and all Democrats have voted for it. So we know that the votes are there.
For the 11th week in a row, mass protests continue in Israel. People are concerned as the government moves forward with highly controversial plans to overhaul the judicial system. The changes would give the government full control over the committee, which appoints judges, and would ultimately strip the Supreme Court of crucial powers to strike down legislation protests. Protests have blocked a major highway in Tel Aviv, with hundreds of women dressed as handmaids and thousands more participating in the protest.
The U.S. is working with Mexico to pay lost wages to 13,000 Mexican nationals. The recipients were part of a temporary foreign worker program in the U.S., but they didn't end up receiving as much pay as they were supposed to. Some also weren't properly paid for overtime work. The U.S. Department of Labor is working to locate these workers and make sure they are paid what is owed to them. Fees for concerts are rising in price, and one rock star is not very happy about it. What was their response for Ticketmaster's fees?
I'll have highlights next on TV2 News.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
The NCAA tournament is underway, and many have been revealing their bracket picks, including former President Barack Obama and President Biden. For the men's, Obama has Duke winning in the NCAA tournament men's tournament, and Biden has Arizona.
And unfortunately, both of the presidents are betting against the Flashes in the first round against Indiana. That makes me so sad that neither of them believe in us.
I know. Blake, what do you think about this?
You know, I think they're wrong too, but my bracket's totally busted, so what do I know?
I'm hoping for them this week.
And good evening, Portage County. I am Blake Goloja with your TV2 Sports Report. March Madness kicked off with a bang today as some early upsets have broken many brackets. Let's jump in with the first game of the tournament, number 9 West Virginia taking on number 8 Maryland. We're going to pick it up in the first half here as Joe Toussaint. Watch this. He's going to put the moves on him. Not really move, though, but put in that rainbow three. I think that touched the Raptors at the top of that shot. Second half now, Hakeem Hart's going to spin right here, and he's going to win at the rim and the contact. Give me that and one. Maryland tied up with West Virginia. Trey Mitchell's going to kick it over to Eric Stevenson. He was off in the first half, but that one was perfect. Three-pointer, Mountaineers by 3. Now, let's watch this highlight. Jameer Young's going to bring it up, and he's going to dump it off to Julian Reese, who puts it on his head. Patrick Sumik on the poster. They had a chance to lock this game down, but he missed the free throw. Kadrian Johnson, last chance for West Virginia, puts it up and just misses it from that angle. It looks so close. Watch it in slow-mo. Heartbreak for West Virginia. Maryland, the bench watches and erupts. They're moving on to the round of 32. Now let's go over to the second game of the day. Number 4, Virginia taking on number 13, Furman. Two great coaches going at it. We're going to start in the first half. Jalen Slauson, Mom, get the camera. There's a poster going on as he puts it right on his head. We're going to go to the ending of this game as Virginia trying to get it in. Kihei Clark doubled in the corner. Nowhere to go. Throws it up. Oh, no. It's picked off Garrett Hine. J.P. Pagis. Oh, he hit it. 68-67. Furman taking the lead late. Look at that. They had a timeout to use, but Clark panicked, and Furman took advantage. 13 seed trying to pull off the upset. Last chance. Virginia. Reese Beekman 3. No. And that is it. Furman takes that game. Only 8.3% of the brackets on ESPN are still good. Kent fans, it is almost our turn to take the big stage as we take over just 24 hours from now, tip-off between Indiana and the Flashes. Number 13, Kent State will look to write a Cinderella story as they are back in the tournament for the first time in 6 years. It will not be easy, though, as number 4, Indiana has a stout lineup, including first-team All-American Trace Jackson Davis. Sincere Carey will need to be the heart of this team as he's been all year, but his teammates will need to step up. I think forward Chris Payton and guard Malik Jacobs will do just that. I predict a 69-67 upset with the Golden Flashes advancing to the round of 32. Tip-off is set for 9:55 p.m. on Friday, and you can catch the action on TBS. And that is all for sports. Make sure to follow at TV2 KSU Sports for updates on all things Kent State athletics. I've been Blake Goloja. Good luck with your brackets and have a great Thursday night, Portage County.
What if I told you none of it was accidental? How Taylor Swift is keeping fans up till midnight with the release of 4 new songs. Welcome back. No one's really sure where all the fees go when you're purchasing concert tickets, including The Cure. Frontman Robert Smith, and he's not really happy about it.
After fans complained about the high fee prices on the band's upcoming tour, Smith said on Twitter that he was sickened by those fees, but has no way to control them. The Cure uses services through Ticketmaster, which is currently under scrutiny by the federal government.
And calling all Swifties, tonight at midnight, Taylor Swift is releasing 4 newly remastered songs on the eve of her first day of the Eras Tour. Eyes Open and Safe and Sound are the 2 of 3 Taylor's version songs that were originally featured in the Hunger Games movie, in addition to If This Was a Movie and All of the Girls You've Loved Before. Tonight, Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour kicks off tomorrow night in Swift City, Arizona. I am just so excited. You guys.
All of us are, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what do you think about the new songs?
New songs tonight. I was not expecting this, but I'm very happy, obviously. Because the Hunger Games songs are super interesting because of how Netflix has the Hunger Games whole series for the 1 month.
Yeah.
Hunger Games have been really popular lately, too.
Yes. I love them. I love Taylor Swift, so I'm a big fan of both.
Yeah, so I'm just super curious because, like, obviously Taylor Swift's a mastermind, and I think all of this is connected, but I could just be reading into it. What do you guys think?
Right, I've heard all the conspiracy theories. Have you?
I haven't heard them, but I feel like it can't be a coincidence that all of this is happening.
Right.
Very much, right?
All of it's happening at once. I don't know. People think that Speak Now is coming out tonight, too.
We'll
find out. I don't know.
Right? What's your favorite album or era, if you will?
Fearless.
Fearless. Do you have a favorite era?
I have to go Reputation.
Reputation? I am a Speak Now girl, so
Oh,
I would be really excited.
Let's hope.
Let's see. But that is all the time we have for you today. Thank you so much for joining us.
For updates on all these stories and more, visit our website at kentwired.com.
And follow us on all of our social media platforms at Kent Wired. I'm Alexandria Manthey.
I'm Alexa Blakley.
And I've been Sydney Brown. Have a great night, Portage County.